I got my friend Alan out here for a drive, and I got some fresh meat in the queue. An oldie but a goodie for sure. This is our next project.
Oh man, got me sweating over here.
The old 1931 jalopy trick. It's complete. Great driving car.
Sure beats riding a horse.
I can't imagine what it was like.
He got on the little road and the little path there, and he's gunning it. This little four-cylinder is pushing all it's got.
One of my old friends has wanted to build a hot rod for a long time. He found this Model A and dropped it off at the shop. He's really particular about the style and era he's looking for, but I think there's still a lot of room for envisioning.
Does he know what you do on this show?
Talk about the nostalgia ride.
I'm telling you. Dude, this thing is rad. Like it screams rad.
I mean, when you look at this iconic Model A, right now, in 2023, it looks like Grandpa's parade car, right? It's like, oh,
Right.
Nice antique. We were discussing, like, post-war hot rod, like, take it all the way back. Take it back to when it was, or could have been first modified. What a kid would have done when he inherited the family truckster back in the day. They would chop the top, they would channel them, then came the Z frames,
Right.
It goes on and on. But I was thinking, to keep this car, you know, still in that vein of like piece of history and not like a full race car.
Right.
Just strip it down and hop it up, baby.
I like hot rods.
Yeah, me too. As far as this car goes, it looks like somebody should be driving Miss Daisy to the market in it. Fortunately for me, I'm not much of a parade goer, so I think this car can come apart. And obviously start by taking all the accessories and fenders off.
Oh, yeah.
Take the bumpers off, take the lights off, maybe leave the door handles. That's the name of the game, right? Keep it light and lean.
This is a homemade spacer made out of wood, so.
I heard that all the wood in these cars were the actual shipping crates in the factory. Mr. Ford said, "That's good wood. Make the floors out of that, all the shipping boxes."
Oh, wow.
I knew I was in the right business. Even the pioneers were into recycling and repurposing. The body is definitely taken off on this car because it's got nice undercoat under here. I could see a couple of the pieces of the floor have been replaced because it's riveted in. It's definitely an aftermarket stamp, but no cancer. I feel like Busted Knuckle Garage is on the way.
Oh, yeah. I am.
You heard of mouse traps, that's an Allen trap.
That sure is. Ah! This thing is heavy.
The inside of this car is so nice. Let's pull all the interior out, get rid of anything that might burn or get sparks. Yeah, oops. Because of the fact we're chopping the car, it's gonna need all new glass. It's just the price of being cool. Caveman labor, caveman results.
Dude, check out the wood framing in here. It's like brand new.
This exposed roof is exactly what we're looking for. Just like the rest of the car, it's a stripped down race car, bottom line. The aesthetic is the function. A little bit better. This one was a little more successful. Awesome. All right, man, after this, no modern tools, right? That's the deal?
That's the deal.
Yeah, looks like you're there.
There we go. Look at that.
Yeah, man, let's get this thing out in the breeze. Take a look.
All right.
Just stripping down the car is what gets us in the ballpark. But what we do from here will really sell the concept. This is totally interesting because it's the exact opposite of what we do.
Right.
Typically, we mock stuff up, we pile things, come up with ideas, and all we did here was reduce.
Oh, I know. Two totally different worlds.
All right, man, it's time to lower the altitude of this thing.
How low can he go?
After a lot of looking and some thinking, Alan and I agree, a 4-inch chop will take us in the right direction.
So what are you thinking about the back? Are we just gonna go straight through it?
Deciding on how much to chop is only half the enchilada. The real spice is how do you cut it out. Let's drop the window 1.5 inches. What do you think about that? Because look how much up it is. So from this black, from the black edge to this little trim detail is 1 5/8.
Okay, I see.
What if we matched it?
Ooh, pre-thinking.
So we could drop the window 1 1/4 and end up with the same proportion of the black line.
That would look nice.
But again, looking back at this, just looking, look, the back window's up for sure.
It does look higher.
So let's drop that window 1 1/4, and then we'll chop it the rest through the center. 2 3/4, we'll chop the glass.
So this went from a simple additional problem to a geometry problem real quick.
That's the way I see things, man.
Here we go. The simple way of doing it would have just been cut it straight through the window. Your window would have shrank, and that's what normally people do. He wants to pull the back window down a little bit to be level with the other windows. And to me, it's just genius. Man, I think this is the most well thought out build we've ever done.
Well, let's not get carried away, man. You know who you're working with, right? See, it does cut pretty efficiently. Oh, it's gonna take some effort, man.
It sounds so painful.
Ow, ow, ow. All right, I'm gonna let you make some progress.
Sweet. I think Ian bought used hacksaws because that thing was so hard to saw through.
Hey, Alan, that was a great idea to do this traditional style, huh?
I'm feeling it now. But that's why when you meet them old men, they got these huge forearms, you know.
Freaking Popeye arms.
Exactly. And I'm like, there's no way.
It's nothing like taking a little time to sit back and think about our forefathers. Yep. All the progress they made, from simple hand tools to what our society's evolved into today. Oh, who let the cameras in here? Hey, the traditional thing was Alan's idea.
There we go.
Nothing speaks the truth like a real-life mock-up. It's time to set this sucker on and see what we come up with.
Drum roll, please.
Ooh, that's a chopped Model A right there.
That's the look right there.
Definitely not the way Henry Ford would have did it, but that's the way I would do it. That's proper.
The driver's door looks really good. The back window is perfectly shaped. See, the neat part when you see this,
Yeah.
it matches
flows
all the way
right
around.
through.
Right.
This little trick with the back window really pays off when it's set back in place. For whatever reason, the Model A had sort of a raised up back window in the panel, and by doing the chop the way we did, they all kind of stay around the bottom of the belt line.
This looks so natural,
Yeah, it looks correct.
like it belongs.
We still got a couple more things to do before we're race ready. I'm really happy with the overall layout of this, dude. Little rake in the front suspension maybe, but it's aggressive looking. I know you want to gas weld this. I know you're dying to, but think about it. You got this nice interior, the smoke's gonna be going up into the chicken wire, and the spark gets in there. It's just a freaking cookout, man.
My elbows are sore from the hacksaw.
Yeah.
I thought I could just rough it out. I thought about the grandfathers that were doing it back in the day. No.
I gotta tell you, holding that hacksaw for 5 minutes really makes me appreciate the modern conveniences. For just setting this off, I'm gonna put these little backer strips. So you got these little gaps here. If you were TIG welding or gas welding, you'd be able to just work through that, but since we're using the MIG, I'm just gonna back it. It's gonna be really strong. This technique is a little bit different than the fly by the seat of our pants technique. It feels so elegant and refined. This is one of the oldest tricks in the book. It might be the oldest trick in the book. It's the oxyacetylene torch. You can heat with this, you can cut with it, you can weld with it. It's got all different attachments, all different torches. Pretty much you could build a car with this. Back in the day, that's kind of what they would do. They would have a hammer and a chisel, a couple wrenches, and one of these. Ye old fire axe. And it's gonna fuse it right into the sheet metal. In these corners, there's a little bit of adjustment to be made. So he's gonna end up gas welding right through, but as he works it, he's gonna hammer and dolly that right into shape. Like a boss. I'm gonna be on fire patrol. Yes, sir.
Pre-war, there was no rod, just a torch by itself. And then after the war, they ended up adding the rod because it made your weld stronger. For us to use that same method is just so, humbling. It's probably the hardest thing with this is like you heat it up, you have to keep control of the metal because it's constantly moving as you heat it.
So what happens is that he heats it, it expands. As it's constricting, he forces it into shape, and he's ultimately, you see how big a gap it is on this side? He's working that out to a flush panel. You see, with the MIG weld, your heat-affected zone is that big, right?
Right.
The torch is all over the place. Next up is the back window frame, new and improved. Window glass is 2 3/4 smaller, and the windows dropped 1 1/4.
See, that's very tasteful. It's done very tastefully.
That's the story of my life, Alan. Very tasteful. I've never built a bad tasting car. Whew. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the story of the back window. We're just gonna take all this welding very slow, so we get no shrink, no muss, no fuss. Alan and I finished up all the welding. We got our sanding on, and the body's looking pretty good. Thinking about the next step, like as much as I really like low cars, I'm just not really feeling a channel for this build. Yeah, I mean, if you channel it too, then the axle's coming up, you're gonna start cutting the body here, you're cutting the floor out. I love this seat, so, the suspension, everything comes up into the car.
No, I get it. The rumble seat, super rad. Most people have to sacrifice it once they start cutting them up. So it's cool that we'll be able to keep it.
Yeah, we just won't be wearing our tall hat when we drive it, but everything else is Model A.
Screams maturity.
What? Don't ever use that word again. I got a few more tricks up my conservative sleeve. Looking at these side pans, I got a few ideas that'll really meld them in nice with the rest of the car. Right now, they're just sheet metal edge. They're razor sharp. Maybe you want to take this round rod and just edge this. Just tack it all on there. That way it's a nice finished edge, and we can put a little filler on it, have a nice rollout off of the sheet metal surface.
Oh, yeah. Now that brings the sexy into it. I think we should trim it to meet up with the rear wheel well.
Oh, that's a good idea, for sure. Right, that line comes straight down instead of just to the back of that. If you want to set that up, I'm gonna trim this windshield. The first step is to just take these hole measurements, bring them down 4 inches on everything. One of the challenges when you do have parameters on the creativity, it's just like, okay, well, instead of thinking outside the box, you gotta do as much as you can inside the box, which is a challenge in itself. Mini window. That's the thing, we didn't chop it like the top. I just took the, yeah, where that screws together.
Dude, that's badass.
Just how Mr. Ford intended it. Oh yeah, for sure, dude. That looks great.
Like how it follows the rear wheel opening,
Yes.
comes down.
It adds to it 100%. Just thinking with these headlights, we're gonna do a classic hot rod thing also, because we don't have any fenders for this to bolt onto.
Right.
If we bolt it to the car, like right there, and then I take the rod, so you're heating right here, I take the rod and bend it, and then boom, the headlight is facing where it's supposed to.
In theory, it sounds like it would work.
I was hoping this idea would be met with a little more optimism. Alan wants the old tools. I mean, what's more caveman than bending stuff by hand? I tell you, sometimes it's a tough room in here. As I look to you, custom.
That's awesome. That's a first for me right there.
Put your tongue on that, see how hot it is. Just looking at pictures of the old hot rods, the headlights always appeared to be dropped down, which I thought gave it a really aggressive look. And then using the stock stuff and repurposing it, that's cool. Blacksmith 101, baby.
I'm learning.
I wish we had the same color lens. We're gonna have to work on that.
Let's get that full visual.
Yeah, man. How's it looking?
It looks good to me.
There's something about it when you drop the headlights like that. It just looks like super cool.
That's traditional hot rod in 101 right there. You can't get any more traditional than that. That's working with what you got and making it look good.
Yeah, as much as I love that antique two-tone paint job, I think getting this to one tone, let's just see how it feels.
A little primer here, a little primer there. We'll be soapbox racing in no time.
For sure. Classy, baby. Well, all right, Alan had to say farewell. He's got a real job to take care of, but we got this thing in primer. It's looking good. Body panels were very straight. Probably the biggest bodywork project on this was getting these two pans to look like one piece because they had a seam in here somewhere. This is starting to get aggressive. Getting this car into primer really helps move it into the hot rod realm. It doesn't look like Grandpa's parade car anymore. I was kind of ruminating on gauges in it, and I want to kind of upgrade the interior, make it look a little bit, different than the other guy's car. And I've done all kinds of weird dashboard arrangements, but this is a pretty lean hot rod. Back in the day, I would have been thumbing through the Speedway catalog, and we'd like, that's the part right there. So I ordered one. So this is a 32 style dash that literally just bolts right into the Model A. I got some gauges. They're the old style Stuart Warner. This one goes up to 160. That's pretty optimistic in my book, but hey, it leaves room at the back end for further progression. The other arrangement here, the dashboard is just a little chrome thing attached to the gas tank. What this would do would raise the electric stuff off the tank and set it up here. It's got me thinking like, well, what would a dashboard have, right? Would it have a glove box? I mean, if you could just choose anything for your dashboard, would it have an opening panel that the Model A simply does not offer? This is just me thinking out loud. Obviously, front row and center, no doubt. You're gonna have the big gauge. You're gonna have accessories. And I have a part of another car, and I'm thinking glove box, right? So this is one of the last pieces of that Nash Metropolitan, the little car. It's got a glove box door that I just couldn't resist. Does that not look like a pretty close fit? I got two words, I'm gonna make it one. Nash Dash. The whole thing about this Nash Metropolitan was just, it wasn't like the candidate for customization as it was, but the parts are so quirky, I've spread them out over a number of projects. This is the moment this entire project has been leading up to. Will the glove box fit? This is the mini glove box technique. I only pull it out once every decade or so, but when I do, it's a ride. It's all fun when you get started in a relationship and then you realize there's work to be done. The romance wears off, you realize the hinge isn't actually gonna work. Tiny glove box. Already, this is pretty satisfying, it's gonna work. It's a mashup of two very different cars in a very in-the-box parameter. Nice tight fit. That way it doesn't go shaking around. Let's do that 4 times more. Smoking. So even though this layout of the gauges looks good in my opinion, one thing I wasn't considering is that stock piece of the gas tank is in the way. And when that comes in, look, it's right there. That gauge is not gonna fit. And then these over here are still really tight against the gas tank. The cowl, this is the gas tank. You put the gas in here. This fuel gauge, it's like a sight glass almost. You're looking into the fluid level. I'm thinking maybe just cut out this entire section. Just get an aftermarket tank, set it in the back where it's a little more protected. And I mean, imagine this in a front end collision. Being that it is partial structure of the car, instead of removing the gas tank, I'm just going to cut out a portion. And this car hasn't had fuel in it since we put it in the garage. This thing is 100% dried out, so I'm confident cutting it won't be a problem. Do not cut your gas tank if there's fuel in or around it. That there is the inside of a gas tank. Yeah, now you got all this room for the gauges. This goes right back in place. I'm sure you've asked yourself a million times, why is it called a glove box? Because you put your gloves right there. Look at that. Once the new tank arrives, I'll wire it up, plumb it, and this puppy will be ready to hit the gas station. It's all part of the master plan. Looking at the dashboard, I gotta say, Looks classy, but definitely a little different. I'd say period correct. Next, a couple more aesthetic details, and we're just about ready for cruise night. Back in the day, you take your tiny little gloves and put them in a tiny little glove box. Another fun fact from Honest Ian's Glove Box Historical Society. I'm gonna need a bigger glove box. One of the last necessary and cosmetic things is, of course, taillights and the license plate. Fenders had the license plate bracket with taillight on one side and a taillight on the other. That's all gone now. With the traditional hot rods, typically you see it right here in the rear pan. And the name of the game with any hot rod is stripped down and lean, you know, less is more type of thing. The way Alan and I treated the front headlights was all business, very simple. Officer probably won't give you a ticket. Same thing with the taillights. You want to have your race car street legal. I'm going to center the license plate first and see what dimension works best for the placement of the taillights. There's a couple different license plates that could go on this. This is from '63. The older ones are a little bigger, but I'm just basically coming up with a layout. If I do use a wider license plate, like the older style, I'm just going to set these a little bit wide. The wider plate won't make it look kind of bunched towards the center. I think that's the number right there. In case you haven't noticed, it's a little warm out. I learned this trick on that movie, Predator. He used the Bic shaver to do exactly like this. Whew, it's hot. The last thing is the little mounting for the license plate. Naturally, we'll be using locking hardware in the end. That's a good placeholder. What's not to like about that? That's tasty, classic design. This is exactly the look. You look at any picture in the little magazines from back in the day, this could be one of those cars. All that work has led up to pretty much the blank slate scenario. And it's obviously transformed from that parade car. The chop gives it some attitude, but the wheels and tires are what's gonna sell the concept. Part of the stance, the attitude of these cars is like having a little rake in the front. Without modifying the suspension, you would do a rubber rake. You'd have big tires in the back and smaller in the front. So I'm just trying to figure out like what's actually gonna work on the car. Not only looking at the rim width, backspace, dimensions, I'm looking at the tires, the style, from bias ply to the pie crust, I mean to white wall or not to white wall, there's a lot of options. So we got all these fine examples. Let's take off that back tire and see what's going on. So that's what I was describing. That's quite the large circle. Just from mocking up, I know that these don't fit the bolt pattern. This is a GM rim. It's a good look. The tread is saying more 1960s, 70s, but it's a 15-inch rim with a wide white wall. It's quite the attitude adjustment. Looks better already. Front tires are definitely too fat, really wide. The backs, they're looking on point though. This one with the cutout center, I wonder if that'll get on the bolt pattern like it's supposed to. That just makes it. Yeah, something about the black rims with black tires, pretty aggressive. And rumor has it that the Ford truck rims from the mid-late 60s fit this. Look at that. That is evolution right there. That's a pretty fat tire to be period correct, but tell me it doesn't look good. Just a quick floor jack session and a bunch of wheels, you could see so many different styles represented, and they've pretty much all been used on a Model A. Those rims in the front are pretty much ideal. For a front rim, you could just get a little thinner tire. Maybe I'm on the hunt for a pair of 16s, because those look darn perfect. Yeah, you can see the contrast pretty clearly now. It's like two different worlds. I got a little thinking, a little parts gathering to do, but that's only half the story. The other half of the story is about the paint. Just like with all the theorizing of the chop, etc. on this project, the paint choice is going to say everything as well. I mean, every part of the project makes a statement. If you paint that car black, people are going to respond one way. Paint it pink, they're going to respond a whole different way. The overall end game in the paint is just to make it look like it belongs, right? Kind of like the rest of the car, we won't know the story until it's ready for its maiden voyage. You give me some toner and a gallon of white vintage flats and the party's just getting started. Hey. Got that Model A tidied up and ready for the shakedown run. Now the car has got an attitude. I mean, it's the same old thing inside, but now you're ready to race. You have to be hunched down because it's that low. There's a lot to be said for starting with a decent vehicle. I mean, this thing, we only did sheet metal work to. Mechanically, it's bone stock. It's still turnkey, runs perfect. The entire inspiration for this was the traditional hot rod from the 40s. So back in the day, there was no aftermarket stuff. And of course, first order of business was always strip off the extra weight. The headlights set just right there. The chop is just very aggressive. For a basically stock car, it's got a ton of attitude. Had the glass cut and glued in properly. The windows roll up and down. Front window opens as it should. I'm really satisfied with the size of the back window. I feel like that perimeter line of the windows coming through and into that back, if it was any smaller, it would start to look cramped. I think it really gives a balanced look. That's my job. People come to me and say, hey, what would you do to make this car unique? How about a mini glove box? I got one trick. It works perfect. You can access all the areas in the tank that we cut out. This is a really nice change of pace. For what Alan and I started with was a really, really correct, nice car. So to do this, I think, in my opinion, it only enhanced it. I love the fact that we kept the rumble seat. It's such a small car inside. You're gonna wanna take a couple friends to get a burger. Hey, hop in the back, grab on those handles and let's go. A lot of times at this point of the project, I'm standing in front of something that looks like it came off of another planet, right? This thing is classic, iconic Americana. And I think I fit right in. Change of pace. It's just so interesting to think about when I started my career, I was building cars to kind of thumb my nose at the people with these cars, right? And now here I am, 20 years later, gray-haired and ailing, wishing for one of those cars. I gotta say, another project in the books, another satisfied customer. Well, at least I'm satisfied. That's enough. There's just something to be said for the real deal, and I didn't know until I actually drove a 1931 hot rod. Nothing like it. I'm going for another ride.